What's up, guys? Dr. Mike Merckx here with the Specific Chiropractic Centers, and today I wanted to talk about something or a phrase that seems to be getting really popular kind of in the health world. And no, we're not talking about CBD oil. We talked about that a few weeks ago, which some of you guys wanted to talk to me about that. I haven't really heard much about it. But what we're talking about today is the gut-brain axis. And I'm not sure if you even know what that is, but there's a lot of people out there saying like, oh, the gut is the second brain, this and that. And it's not like they're not saying it's like the actual like brain in regards to like the cognitive processing and stuff of our brain, but it is tied to the brain, and it does have a huge effect on the body and the system as a whole. And it all kind of comes down to first the microbiome. So the microbiome is the fancy word for gut, and it's really talking about all the bacteria that lives in the gut. And we have good bacteria, like all certain kinds of bacteria, and they're supposed to be in certain areas of the gut. And when this bacteria kind of gets mixed up, or we go through certain things that messes with this bacteria, some of them can be a C-section birth for babies because they're not getting exposed to the bacteria in the birth canal, or not getting breastfed because breast milk has a lot of good bacteria, or antibiotics, acetaminophen or Tylenol for fevers. That all wipes out that gut bacteria, and then we can really start to have some big issues happening. What can happen is once we eat something and digestion takes place, suddenly we can start absorbing things that we aren't really supposed to absorb. And what does the body do when it encounters something that's not supposed to be there? Yeah, it fights it off. Like, you're exactly right. Like when we have a cold, or we have these symptoms because the body's trying to fight off some sort of virus or bacteria that is encountered. And that's a totally healthy response. The problem happens when our microbiome and our gut is working not how it's supposed to, and suddenly we're stuck kind of in this like fighting mode, and we're stuck in this sympathetic or fight or flight response all the time. And how do we get back to a place of like resting and digesting and kind of being calm and stuff like that? And there's a lot of things out there that we can look at. There's supplements, there's certain foods, there's diets, there's detoxes, there's cleanses, kind of like a ton of stuff that I've seen out there, and it all works. Like it's all really good. But what we have to remember is that if we have an issue with the nervous system, meaning the brain isn't communicating with the stomach how it's supposed to, then those things are only going to work so good. Like, we are still very much so limited in regards to how that stuff might work for us. So what the goal is to make sure that the brain and the stomach and the gut and all this stuff is working how it's supposed to, and the communication is going to and from there how it's supposed to. Hold on a second. Let me get something for you to kind of explain what I'm talking about. Okay, so we got this giant safety pin here, and what we're gonna say this is the brain, and then this is the gut or stomach or intestines, all that stuff. And what can happen is the stomach, sometimes the messages going to the stomach or going from the stomach to the brain aren't getting to the brain really how they're supposed to. And what happens then is the brain can only respond as good as the messages going to it. So if they're not getting there how they're supposed to, suddenly the stomach isn't getting the correct information from the brain. So what the goal is, and what the goal is all the time at my office at the Specific Chiropractic Centers, is to get this back connected and get it working how it's supposed to. And once we get the body really working how it's supposed to, then suddenly we start to see this gut stuff clear up. And with the gut-brain axis, with all this stuff, what we can see is that these issues going on, they can cause a lot of mental health stuff, with depression, with anxiety, with PTSD, with OCD, with anxiety, ADD, ADHD in kids, with autism, with opposition defiance disorder, extreme anger, stuff like that. So this is this is really important. It's important that not only just with the gut, but also with the rest of the body, that the brain is communicating with the rest of the body how it's supposed to. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. We're going to keep it pretty short and simple, but I think it is a really powerful message, especially for a lot of you people out there that know about this microbiome and the gut-brain axis and how it kind of ties into what we're doing here with chiropractic. I think a lot of people, when they think of chiropractic, they think of only like skeletal, musculoskeletal issues, but It is much deeper and much larger than that. And that's exactly what this example is all about. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great Mother's Day this weekend. And also, during the month of May, if you write on our Facebook page, or if you just click like our banner on the Facebook page, explain why your mom is the best. We're gonna pick a winner at the end of the month, and whoever's the winner, their mom gets sent a pampering basket on us. So I think that's something super cool that we're doing, and it's just one more way that you can give your mom something for Mother's Day, but it'll be at the end of May or beginning of June. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.